Hi there, this is Isabelle McFadden, and I wanted to discuss a little bit what's going on in Portugal with the investigation and what's going on with Scotland Yard. There's, quite a growing group of people who actually follow the McCann case and pay attention to details. I wanted to make one thing clear. I have personally spoken to Polícia Judiciária in Portugal, and as a Portuguese citizen, it is my right to know where we stand in this investigation. Of course, I don't have any more rights than any other Portuguese citizen to find out about anything that's part of judicial secrecy, but you can certainly ask about laws, and you can ask about anything that's, free for the press and the public to know. One thing that it's free for all of us to know is that nobody has been cleared in this investigation, and that all options are open. The initial options are all still open, and that's as far as we know from the Portuguese police. Judiciária is basically one of their top investigative police crews, and they basically say, and I heard it from somebody very close to the top, that, and he told me, Mrs. McFadden, everything started at, was looked at with a fine-tooth comb from the beginning. All options are on the table. What does that mean? That means, just as before, all options, anything could have happened. Does that mean that he's telling me that the McCanns could be completely innocent? Yes, it does. Does it mean that they're cleared? No, it doesn't. It just means that they're not telling us anything because they don't want us to know anything. This is, for example, DCI Redwood, one of the things he said to the public, and you can go look at it, he said, abduction is not all in our thinking. This is, he basically said Madeleine could have not left that apartment alive. And so if abduction is not all in his thinking, it means that the option that the parents are guilty of something is obviously on the table. It doesn't take a genius to know this. Police all over the world, like we just had a case here very recently of a guy who became very famous with Subway sandwiches, and just months before he was arrested, it took them something like 9 years to get this guy. They were observing him for 9 years, but he had become so wealthy that, I think that was part of why it took so long, because he could get a great defense attorney. So they really need to nail the case against him. And there is video footage of the FBI, the police, basically saying, oh, he's not a suspect. He's not a suspect. Because, of course, if you're the police and this is a high-profile case, why would you want to bring all that media and scrutiny upon you and having attorneys already preparing to bring the case against you? So, this is, I just wanted to basically clear up what's going on in Portugal, because I hear all this, nonsense, like the McCanns have been cleared, and everybody, there's people that have been cleared, and nobody's cleared until the case goes to trial. The McCanns, they will have to stand in trial. It's their kid that's missing, so they will have to answer questions eventually. So whatever questions they did not answer, they will have to. Another thing that is erroneous is the McCanns, when they asked and begged for the case to be open, okay, part of the reason why the case was closed in Portugal, it was because it was a standstill. And the Ministério Público made it very clear that if something new would come up, the case would immediately be open. All they needed would have been for the McCanns to say, I will go ahead and answer those questions. I think that would have been enough for the Portuguese police to open the case. So,